have a brother combo that's going to come up here. And their topic is balancing competition and brotherhood in life and amateur radio. The baseball fanatic and the aviation aficionado meet and compete in the arena of amateur radio. You will learn how two busy teenagers battle each other in competition for radio accolades and sporting accomplishments, yet maintain brotherly allegiance to one another. Ryan, KN4VKW, is a 13-year-old 7th grader. Ryan made an outstanding impression as a shortstop and pitcher in the 2021 Little League World Series, the Southeast Regional Championship, Tennessee State Championship, Tennessee District 7 Championship, and the Nolensville All-Star Little League Championship team. Blake, KN4VKY, is a 14-year-old 8th grader. Blake was poised to lead his Little League team to Williamsport as a pitcher and first baseman, but sadly that 2020 Little League season was canceled. And I lived through all of that because Dad sent me all the information as it was happening, and they even got to miss appearing at one of my youth forums because they were all involved with their excellence in the baseball. Both boys are homeschooled athletes and enthusiastic hands. Together, they will demonstrate how they weave a wide variety of amateur radio and the richness of STEM into their youthful lifestyles, but also full of sports and family activities with an emphasis on who accomplishes it first and the most. So without further ado, Blake and Ryan.
Good morning, everyone. We are grateful to Carol Perry, WB2 MGP, for this amazing opportunity to be here with you today. And grateful that we can all meet again in person for the 70th anniversary of this 2022 Dayton Hamvention. Like so many other youth, Ryan and I are hams because of Carol's encouragement. Here we are 3.5 years ago, competing at our very first kit build, not licensed, at our very first ham fest in Huntsville, Alabama. I won, of course, by completing mine first. You see, we are siblings and yet competitive rivals in everything we do. For us, ham radio is almost literally a contact sport. We are Blake Pearson, KN4VKY,
and Ryan Pearson, KN4VKW. Our Pearson Family Ham Station is located in Brentwood, Tennessee, which is the southern border of Nashville, Tennessee. Both were born in Wisconsin, but we have currently lived in Tennessee for most of our lives.
We will begin by telling you a little background of ourselves. My name is Blake and I'm a 14-year-old extra class operator. I became a ham in June of 2019. I am extremely passionate about aviation and plan to be a pilot one day. Some of my favorite activities are playing baseball, swimming, and of course beating Ryan at any and every ham contest or game. Some of my favorite amateur radio activities are hunting Potas, working special events, and making DX contacts. In 3 years, I've made over 5,500 contacts. I have 26 Pota awards. I have hunted over 700 different unique parks, and have gained 40 new DX countries using RHR, bringing my total to 135 DX countries. Our amazing dad, Andrew, KN4VKX, is our teacher, and our beautiful mom is our assistant teacher and principal.
My name is Ryan. I'm 13 years old and I became a ham in June of 2019 as well at age 10, also upgrading to extra class license in 2020. I'm fascinated with all the technical, unique, and interesting aspects of amateur radio. My current interests in amateur radio are primarily HS communications. I enjoy Pota, operating the December Yoga Month stations, working in special event stations, and chasing after the DX stations. I plan on learning CW later this year, so maybe I will have a new favorite hobby in amateur radio. nearly 3 years working HF, I've collected a total of upwards of 3,600 QSOs. In Pota, I have 25 awards, one which is the Pota Worked All States Hunter Award. And I have my Worked All States on SSB, still working on my DXCC award. Outside of amateur radio, I enjoy outdoor activities like baseball and basketball, and indoor activities like board games that I have a long streak of beating Blake in. I homeschooled Blake as a 7th grader by age while completing 8th grade coursework. I get the extra credit over Blake of doing harder, more technical work at a younger age.
Today, we would like to share to you our approach to ham radio. We decided when we began that we wanted to learn as many aspects of the hobby as possible. In our first 3 years, we have learned and accomplished so much. Here is our Pearson ham check, the way it began and the way it is now. Our Icon IC7610 is our main base radio, and our IC9100 serves as our VHF-UHF radio. Our antennas consist of a 148-foot end-fed wire and a gray vertical Eagle 1 antenna we installed just 1 month ago. Our initial dilemma with the 7610 was who gets to be on the radio. Our HR remote ham radio has solved that dispute, and we use it to make cool SSB contacts with DX stations all over the world. Having a second access option really helps. I'm an early riser, so typically I can spend an hour or two on the rig before Ryan wakes up each morning, so he will never catch up to me in contacts or contests. Here we are in our very first of contests. Our first HF goal was to complete contacting the 50 United States. I won this race on SSB. More about contests later.
Experimenting with all things amateur radio totally fits our lifestyles. We enjoy a wide variety of adventures and activities. Being homeschoolers keeps us flexible, of course, but we want any youth or family considering getting involved in amateur radio to know that you can do school, sports, extracurricular activities, and still fit in time for operating radios. I'm living proof that a kid can play year-round baseball and still accomplish many ham radio wins. Because of course, I must win versus Blake. Here's how my life in amateur radio combined. In 2021, I was blessed to become the first known amateur radio operator to ever play in the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I played travel ball, and as a 12-year-old, my team competed in Little League games as well. We won our district tournaments in May in 4 games. We moved on and swept our state tournament in June in 5 games. And then we traveled to Warner Robins, Georgia to compete in the highly competitive Southeastern Little League Regional Tournament. We played 6 games in 6 days in super humid weather to win. My supposed to be first day of school was on a baseball field on ESPN.
When between games, our parents took us to the Warner Robins Air Force Base Museum. It was a blast.
So after we won the Little League Southeast Regionals, we were immediately shipped on a boring 16-hour-long bus ride to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I took my portable in case I wanted to listen to the local repeaters between games. In fact, Blake and I were set to speak at the 2021 Huntsville Ham Fest, but my team kept on winning, so we could not attend. Besides having a blast playing baseball in Williamsport, the TV aspect kept things fun for me and the family later when we were told about it. The ESPN radio announcers are provided a list of fun facts to talk about each player during the game, and none of them could figure out what amateur radio operator meant. I'm called a scientist because I am known as the smartest kid on the team, and because I wear cool sports glasses that can improve the look. Our family told us that the TV announcers tried to describe what I did as that my dad and I built radios from scratch for fun. Despite getting knocked out of the tournament, my personal highlight was I made ESPN Sports Center's top 10 number 3 for a backhand play I made at shortstop.
Meanwhile, while Ryan was at the complex, Dad and I connected with the local ham, Marty, K3LPX. We contacted Marty in August of 2020. At the exact time, both Ryan and I should have been playing in the Little League World Series together, except it was canceled for COVID and I aged out the following year. After noticing where he lived and seeing his QSL card on his QSL biography, we immediately swapped QSL cards with him. 1 year later, I was making QSLs from his shack, and when Ryan was done with baseball, he did as well.
It was then we realized that I was the first team to ever play in the Little League World Series. The local Pennsylvania news outlet really liked the scientist. Marty is quite an infamous sports guy in Pennsylvania. Local media learned of his involvement with us and wanted to know more about amateur radio. The This led to Mark Messina, the brother of Major Leaguer Mike Messina, interviewing us all at Marty's house for the local newspaper before we left Williamsport.
Now, back to beating Ryan. We entered the world of amateur radio through a competition. Because I love aviation, our parents took us to the Experimental Aircraft Association, EAA, in Oshkosh, Wisconsin in July of 2018. There, me and Ryan competed relentlessly with each other in the Youth Venture Kid Buildings, where we completed exercises like airplane simulators and directing planes as an air traffic controller. To be expected, I won. Most importantly, though, it was there that we toured our very first historic ham shack, and that is the spark that led us to meet Carol at the 2018 Huntsville Ham Fest.
Being connected to local ham resources is critical for a new ham or if you are getting involved in ham trading. Our dad got us all connected with Jack Cox, KA4OTB, from our local Williamson County, Tennessee Aries group before we even began studying for our technician licenses. This amazing group of hams welcomed us, helped us with equipment, mentored us, and our progress in amateur radio is fully dedicated to their investment in us. 3 years later, here they all are, even cheering for me when I was in the Little League World Series.
Here are some of the many ways we stay connected in amateur radio. WCARES, Williamson County Aries. We actively attend their monthly meetings. We help set up and participate in field days, and we are on the antenna team that helps any fellow hams with any of their antenna projects. We are also members of the Stones River Amateur Radio Club and help set up and operate field days, fox hunts, and attend their meetings. We are AWL members as well as Yacht Youth Amateur Communication Ham Teams members, led by the great Ed Engelman, KGACX. We try to be on Echolink every Saturday night and to participate in the Yacht Youth Net and talk with our youth friends from all around the world.
Blake and I stay active in our local net communications. We check in almost every morning on the Tennessee 3980 phone net, Monday nights on our local WCARES net and MTR's, Middle Tennessee Emergency Amateur Services net, and Saturday nights with Yacht on Echolink. Here we are with 3980 net manager Harold, WD4LAR, at one of our 3980 breakfasts.
Here is a short list of some of the many amateur radio contests and events that Ryan and I have experienced in or participated in or competed in. We won the grand prize ICOM IC7610 at the 2019 Huntsville Ham Fest as brand new, freshly licensed generals Ryan age 10 and me age 11.
We went to Huntsville in search of buying a radio, but instead we left Huntsville blessed with one a better radio.
We also helped participate as net control functions with one of our Elmers, RJ KC4LRR, when he acts as net control. As a matter of fact, we did not miss any check-ins. In July of 2020, we became extra class operators and inspired our Elmer to obtain his extra after being a general for 30 years.
On the extra class test, I did have the best score by the end.
Not by much. We have also been privileged to be guests on Hamvention with Don Wilbank's AE5EW and many other interviews listed on our QRZ pages regarding our winning at the 7610.
During the interview with Don Wilbanks, we unboxed our 7610 live for the first time.
In 2020, me and Ryan worked the Dayton CUSA party and had a blast. As a matter of fact, I ended up making more contacts than Ryan. Yearly, me and Ryan enjoy contacting the 13 county special event stations, and I personally enjoy the historical value of the event along with the cool commemorative QSL cards each year. After receiving many QSL cards in the mail of people who wanted ours, we spoke with Randy, KB3IFH, and he helped us create our own QSL cards. Over the past few years, we have had a blast sending out our QSL cards, and I am definitely beating Ryan as I have sent out over 600 and he has only sent 500. In this picture, we completed our first successful fox hunt using a tape measure antenna with our Stones River Club. On Tuesday mornings, we meet with our Williamson County group and help set up portable ops at Dyer Observatory and make contacts.
These world events are great because they prepare us for our future Parks on the Air activations.
During field days, me and Ryan join our Stones River friends and help set up, operate as much as we can, and tear down when the field day is over.
In the top left picture, you can see me in my Little League uniform after working summer field day before heading to play the Little League district tournament game.
a challenge, our family created a Triple Crown QSL card for any operator that manages to contact me, Ryan, and her dad. In 2020 and 2021, we were invited to operate the December Yoda Month special event stations and had a blast making all the QSOs.
In 2020, I made more contacts than Blake, but then somehow in 2021, he made more than me.
In 2021, Carol blessed us to be part of her youth forum for the QSO Today virtual Ham Expo.
This was our very first international ham radio experience.
In September of 2021, just a week after coming home for the Little League World Series, Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG, contacted us and interviewed us on his show Ham Talk Live. Ryan and I are also part of our group's antenna installation team and help any close hams with any of their antenna projects.
In the right picture, me and Blake are helping set up a 6-meter directional antenna. Not in the picture, but later that day, we also helped put up an 80-meter loop and other HF antennas. Well, as you can see, me and Blake keep very busy in amateur radio. This is just some of the highlights. Most recently, 2 weeks ago, we were honored to be interviewed by James, Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy, on his YouTube channel. I've contacted James now more than 200 times, which I made both Blake and Dad in. We are officially Pota hunters and inspired by James' plan to become Pota activators ourselves. We have been accused of being James' cult members because we tried to contact him at every single park he activates. Seeing if James is on the radio is the very first thing we do when we walk in the door for baseball practice or a game. This is Blake and I's current staffs with RHR, Parks on the Air, DXs, and contacts and confirmations in general. Blake has me beat most of these, as you can see, but in time, I hope I will catch up to him. Upcoming plans this summer are to become Parks on the Air activators, and Blake will be attending the Yoda Camp in June in Ohio. Later this fall, we hope to begin the CW Ops Academy with help from another Elmer, Carl, and I4D.
Thank you all for coming here today and listening to our broad exploration of amateur radio. We hope you leave here today feeling inspired to get more involved with your local club, try something new, or continue to build and improve your station. We are the generation that needs to continue this lifelong skill into the future, and we have so much to learn from all generations. Signing off from now 73 and 75 from KN4VKY
And KN4VKW.